Hello everyone, this is Raven, and today we're going to take a look at this Dragon Princess build that I saw from one of Ninja Hun's tournaments. A player was using this and I saw how really good it was, and honestly, I've started seeing it a lot on YouTube before I was able to get this cast out, but that's alright. So what really gives this build its meat and packs its punch really is just the Dragon Princes themselves. It's what gives it its name, and Tyrion here is no joke either. I just stuck him in between two units of them because I was like, why the hell not? He's a hard hitter, he's fast, mobile, and he's just like these guys, heavily armored, packs a punch. So these guys are actually basically just better Grail Knights, not gonna lie. So 110 armor, I'm not sure how much Grail Knights have. They might have 120, but I'm pretty sure they have anywhere between 100 to like 115, and their charge bonus and weapon strength is relatively the same. The only thing is that the Grail Knights have a bonus versus large, but these guys have a little bit higher physical resistance. I believe Grail Knights and all the royal units like that, any Grail units from Britonia have 20% physical resistance, whereas these have 25 and also the 70% fire resistance. So if there were to be any fire damage coming out of the Lizardmen, it would be negated by 70%, which is a lot. That is a lot of damage. So actually, if we take a look right here, he has a Bastiladon with a solar engine on it, which is half magical and half fire damage. So half of that damage is going to be negated by 70%. So that's a lot of math, but you know, it gets negated quite heavily on these guys, and we'll probably actually be able to survive at least a shot from it. Maybe not. Actually, no. That'll just outright kill anything it touches because it's so high. 403 damage? No. So anyways, we'll go back to the front line here. Have 4 units of White Lines of Trace, just to get that armor piercing, because all Lizardmen armies are pretty heavily armored, honestly. Even though they only have 60, 60 is still a lot because that's on every single one of your troops, unless he brings the Skink cohort like he did right here. Just to kind of throw in some javelins if he had spent 100 extra gold on each one of these guys. So luckily for me today, he brought Chameleon Skinks on the flanks over here instead of in the front line, just to kind of do that extra damage. So these guys I can actually catch, whereas these guys are going to fight it out no matter what. So, you know, maybe we can see how well these guys do for him. And on the flanks for me, I have 2 units of Spearmen. These guys don't pack any punch whatsoever, but they have 55 melee defense, which is absolutely ridiculous. So these guys over here, if you take a look at their melee attack at being 20, so 20 versus that 55 melee defense, it's pretty much like a unit of zombies is fighting a unit of Iron Breakers. Nowhere near that extreme gap, but that's basically what we're going to be seeing right here. That martial prowess on Spearman is no joke. And then in the back right here, I got a mage with the Lore of Life right here. Just try and keep everybody a little bit healthy. She's got Life Bloom on her, and then I gave her Earth Blood, because really I just want to get out heals on the Dragon Princes or on my front line wherever I can, or on Tyrion if he really needs the help. But for Tyrion himself right here, we actually brought 2 items. We've got the Faint and Repose, so that added physical resistance and better stats for melee attack and melee defense. And then whenever he gets really low on life, he can actually get this, which is the Heart of Avalorn. So a burst of life-saving HP when he gets under 10% HP, which is really huge. We're not going to see that this game because he has Kroq-gar over here, or Kroq-gar. What's his name? Yeah, just Kroq-gar. He has him on Grimlock over here, and he's going to be a devastating... Oh, that's unfortunate. He got speared by this tree. But he's going to be in this fight against Tyrion, and it's going to be deadly. We're going to see some play coming out of Pterodon Riders, too. I haven't seen these guys at all, so this is the first time I saw them in a match, and I was pretty happy to see them. Not only that, but we get to see a little Skink Priest over here with the Lore of Beasts, so pretty cool stuff over there. And in the forest, we have some Feral Cold Ones, a Bastiladon with the Revivification Crystal. It's a hard one. And then the Chameleon Skinks over here, like I already talked about, getting some shots off on the Dragon Princess. So initially I was going to ride them down, but I realized, you know what, they get a debuff of like 70% speed in here. Not only that, they're being poisoned as well by these guys. So 48 speed on them innately, and then these guys, their speed's being dropped down. You can see the effects of poison dropping them down, but you can't see the hidden debuff of them being in the forest itself, slowing down their speed. So we're going to go ahead and slam right into the front right here, and I didn't realize that this was actually Temple Guard. I was just trying to get some engagements across the front line, so this is actually the worst possible place I could have these Dragon Princes, so they're absolutely getting torn up right here. So I'm going to have to pull them out pretty soon. But right here, I'm like, you know what, Tyrion, go ahead and get some hits on Kroq-gar. He gets the charge off on him, but Kroq-gar turns right back around and gets a hit off on Tyrion. Each one of these hit points on Tyrion is much more crucial than on this guy because he has half the HP, and this guy hits way harder and has armor piercing. So I really need to be careful about this fight, so I've been paying close attention to this guy. But right here you can see that I've slammed in my Dragon Princes all across the line, and now I'm like, okay, these guys are getting pretty beat up. I realize that they're on Temple Guard. I pull them out, pull these guys out from their engagement over here, and I start trying to cycle charge each of their targets. I pull this unit back, charge this unit in, charge this unit out, charge it back in, charge this unit over here to start helping out my flanks over here. So these white lines of traits are actually going to be putting the beat down on these Saurus warriors with shields over here, but then the Dragon Princes show up and they start laying the smack on them as well. Over here, these Spearmen are actually going to trade quite effectively with the Skink cohort here and probably end up winning if the Fire Leech Bolas don't end up supporting them too much. But right here, they're going to start firing in on all my Dragon Princes, and honestly, that's not going to do too much because all of their damage is fire. So, you know, negation of 70% of that damage is going to be coming into play pretty heavily here, and that's going to be a great time for me. Over here, I get a surround on Kroq-gar with the Dragon Princes and Tyrion in here, so this is not where he wants to be. He's going to be taking a slapping just from all these guys. They're going to be beating the brakes off of him. Feral Cold Ones coming back in, but they got shredded apart in the forest because of all these Dragon Princes in there. These guys are absolute tanks. You cannot forget about how tanky they are. 25% physical resistance, 110 armor. They're going to last forever. Not only that, but look at their melee defense. Their melee defense is 42. They can just get into combat, stay in there, and with 44 melee attack, they're going to be hitting quite often and blocking quite often as well. And then any hit that gets through is going to be like taken down quite a lot in terms of damage. So right here, getting off a fat, juicy heal across all my units. And then right here, we got a duel between Tyrion over here. Sorry, I'm stuttering a little bit. A duel between Tyrion and Kroq-gar is ensuing, but it's not going to go good for him because I realize what's happening. He kind of pulled out, and Tyrion was stuck on him. So I pull in all these guys, and Tyrion's going to start cycling around and come in for another charge. But the Hand of the Gods, I think that's what that's called. Let's go ahead and take a look real quick. Yeah, the Hand of the Gods went off and absolutely devastated Tyrion right there. So I went ahead and popped Fate and Riposte again. So if we can get Kroq-gar surrounded like he is right now, all the damage will start getting soaked into the other units and negated, and Tyrion can start kind of allow that splash damage to not hurt him so much while being able to soak up a lot of it with that physical resistance. And I started chasing him down. I'm like, that's it. We can't let him come back from this route. So Tyrion, with his massive speed of 94, is going to chase down Kroq-gar no problem at 75. So we're going to chase him to no end. Over here, I start pulling my Dragon Princes and start taking out these chameleon skinks that I realize probably not the best target. And I start surveying the battlefield, and I start pulling back all my units to start trying to take out his dinosaurs. These guys are so tanky. 140 armor, 140 armor. Not only that, but he's using the Revivification Crystal on the actual Bastiladon itself, carrying it. So this guy's not going anywhere anytime soon. These Dragon Princes, unfortunately, cannot punch through that armor. They have very, very little armor-piercing damage, and I keep losing micro on these guys, and it's so sad. Over here, though, the fight for his life is going down. Kroq-gar is trying to run desperately, but Tyrion's not going to let it happen. He's going to come in here and just cut at the heels of Kroq-gar's mount, Grimlock. Here he comes. There he goes. Another hit going down. And it's going to keep going, and keep going until we actually finally get him. The Skink Priest is coming in here to try and help out, but honestly, what can he do? If victory is in our grasp, Grimlock is going to go down, and that's going to be it. Over here, I'm just still cycle charging everything. There he goes. He dies. The rest of the army starts breaking just as I start trying to surround all of his Bastiladons with all my white lions of trace over here. So I just started pulling them in. I'm like, okay, well, Tyrion's got that handled. Come back over here, surrounded these guys, and I was like, that is it. That was the final blow. Finally getting Grimlock to die, just put the nail in the coffin for the rest of the Lizardmen forces and force them to rout. So if you take a look real quick, I believe that these are the guys that got on the Temple Guard initially, which is really unfortunate. He only had one unit of them. If I could have just avoided them entirely, I wouldn't have had that problem. But these guys only got 13 kills, no chevrons, and took so much damage. So I'm pretty sure they got beat up by these Temple Guards, and then afterwards were sicked onto Kroq-gar himself with Grimlock waiting in return to just chomp them up with his massive jaws. But over here, these guys did so well, and honestly, these Spearmen traded super efficiently with these Skink cohorts. 4 kills, 0 kills on each of these Spearmen that they are engaged against. So that's awesome. These guys, I didn't expect to do anything, but they did quite a lot of good for my army. And honestly, the White Lions of Trace, like I said, are just that good armor piercing, just meant to like do some damage across the front lines. I really wasn't expecting them to do the heavy lifting. I expected that to fully come out of this powerful cavalry. And Tyrion himself and this Lore of Life caster never got touched, never entered combat, just like I like it. She stayed in the back, stayed nice and happy, just casting those healing spells, kept everybody nice and alive, nice and juicy, ready to pummel the Lizardmen wherever they came in contact. So very good shit coming out of this army right here. Very, very impressive stuff. I love the Dragon Princes. They are definitely no joke for a cavalry unit. Probably the best in the game. I don't think the Dread Knights can beat them with the Dark Elves, because they just have such a low model count. Even though they have that armor piercing, they don't have physical resistance, whereas these guys do, and they have a much better charge and a bigger group of people, so they just outperform them in every way almost, except for that armor-piercing damage. But overall, this is a fun build, guys. You can use it probably against everybody. Imagine just riding down like hordes of Skaven with these guys. That'd be absolutely ridiculous. So maybe I'll try that out. Just kind of see how it plays out against all the different factions or something like that. Probably not, but I want to see how these guys perform against all the races. I definitely want them to be viable and not a very rare build. But right now, as you can see, they're definitely viable for this kind of matchup. So we'll have to see how it plays out in the future. So anyways, guys, that's about it for today. So as always, leave a like if you like what you saw. Subscribe if you want to see more. And as always, leave a comment down in the comment section down below. Lets me know what you want to see. Give me some builds, some campaigns, whatever you want to see, I'll do it. Put out that content. I put out what y'all want, so just let me know. Poor Tyrion. And that's going to be it for today, guys. I'll catch y'all later.